This is CBC Here and Now.
Because girls and boys should be treated the same. They're both humans, and
I don't think we're any better than them, and they're no better than us. I think they should be able to play with us.
Playing hardball with softball. Organizers of a tournament say girls can't compete on a boys' team in an under-12 competition.
We're not going to allow cancer to take over our life. We know we're going to have good days and bad days like everybody else, but we're going to enjoy life to its fullest.
Fighting for his life, and he's not giving up. The former chief of the RNC is battling a fatal brain tumor. In 15 minutes, we'll bring you his message of hope. Good evening, I'm Carolyn Stokes. And I'm Debbie Cooper. We'll start tonight in Harbour Grace, where a historic property caught fire just hours ago. Fire broke out at the Ridley property late this afternoon. Fire crews responded around 2:30. Witnesses say smoke could be seen billowing from the building. The stone building has a long history. It was constructed in 1838 by merchant Thomas Ridley. Recently, the house had been at the center of a controversy between its owner and the Harbour Grace Council.
Arrival, we had heavy smoke. Our crews made entry, located the fire in the back of the building, extinguished the fire. It had spread to the second and into the attic. It's a stubborn fire, but after a couple of hours, we got pretty well all the hot spots. We had some assistance from Carboneer. We had another call at the same time. They dealt with that while we looked after this incident here. One person home at a time. There was a little bit of construction work going on there. There were 3 or 4 animals there. We managed to save one of the kittens, but the other 2 had succumbed to the smoke.
Well, organizers of a softball tournament in St. John's are playing hardball when it comes to the under-12 division. It's the 38th annual Constable Moss softball tournament, and they're not allowing girls to play in the boys' league. Here and Now's Katie Breen has been touching base with all involved today. So, Katie, what have you learned?
Well, a team from CBS wanted to play in the tournament, but they were told they couldn't because they had 2 girls on the roster. Now, I came to a game today to see what their would-be opponents had to say about that.
I don't think we're any better than them, and they're no better than us. I think they should be able to play with us. I don't think it'd be any different because it's just another team.
The idea that girls shouldn't play with boys was a swing and a miss.
You know, if they've got the skill level to be here and they have the interest even more so to be here and want to get a chance to develop them as players, then by all means, in this day and age, they should have the opportunity to play side by side.
This 11-year-old was sidelined because of a broken leg, not because of tournament organizers, but she's still got an opinion.
Because girls and boys should be treated the same. They're both humans, and it's just the way it is.
She'd want to be out there with the boys if she wasn't bound up in a cast.
I like to, have a new challenge whenever it comes to sports. Like, I like doing different basketball camps and softball camps and stuff like that, just to, have a chance to see what it would be like to play with boys.
The CBS team was told they could play if they found boys to replace the girls, but together they decided they wouldn't kick their female friends off the team.
No, I understand that too. I would say that we'd probably take a similar stance because, again, you look after your teammates, you all deserve a chance to play, so I think that stance was a good one.
Organizers did say they would find games for the girls on the CBS team. There's an all-girls division in under 14 and under 16, but they wouldn't let them play in their age group, under 12, where there's only boys. What do you think of that idea that they could play with other girls, just not with you?
Because I think the organizer was saying that women's sports ain't as good as men's, but they didn't think that was true.
Now, organizers are seeing what they'll do about next year. They might let some of the girls play with the boys, or they could create a new under-12 all-girls division. But at least for this year, some of them were benched. Reporting live for Here and Now, I'm Katie Breen in St. John's.
The age and conditions at Her Majesty's Penitentiary have long been criticized, and given another death inside the prison on Saturday, we asked the federal government if changes will be expected. Christopher Sutton was found dead inside his cell last weekend. He is the 4th person to die in custody this year, 2 of them inside the pen. Today, the federal minister representing the province was in town for an announcement. Seamus O'Regan says the province is now getting more federal funding than ever before, but it takes direction from the provincial government about where to spend it, and the prison has not been a priority.
Well, I mean, we work with the province on our priorities, and the priorities right now have been things such as roads, education. I failed to mention that we're hoping to get some work done on the water and treatment plant here in St. John's, which is a sizable capital cost. We've worked with them hand in glove on what their priorities are when we continue to take their guidance.
The Minister of Justice, Andrew Parsons, isn't available for an interview today, but he did speak to CBC earlier this week. He acknowledges the jail needs replacing, but it is costly. He also said it competes for funding with hospitals and schools.
Base problem, I think, is that we have a prison that was constructed before Canada was a nation. Everybody knows this is not a surprise, but that's a very big capital infrastructure need that we have, and we have to weigh that versus hospitals.
Commercial harvesters say this facility should be available to everybody.
We don't want to be forced out.
Coming up on Here and Now.
Well, detectives investigating alleged serial killer Bruce McArthur have made another grim discovery. They found more human remains near a Toronto property where the former landscaper worked.
Yesterday afternoon, human remains were located at one of the first digging sites. These remains have been brought to Ontario Forensic Pathology Services for further examination. The excavation continues, and we anticipate being here for, well, at least until next week.
Police and forensic experts are meticulously searching a ravine behind a house on Mallory Crescent in North Toronto. That's where body parts of 7 men were found in garden planters earlier this year. The remains found yesterday have not yet been identified. That process could involve analyzing DNA, fingerprints, and dental records. Bruce McArthur has been charged with first-degree murder in the deaths of 8 men with ties to the gay village.
Rescue crews in Thailand are racing against time and the weather as they try to save the 12 young boys and their coach trapped in a flooded cave. Crews are frantically trying to pump water out of the maze of tunnels before the weekend, when heavy rain is expected. They are hoping that the weather holds so the boys and their 25-year-old coach can walk out of the cave, but officials are also exploring other possibilities. The boys are being taught to dive and swim in case they need to navigate the system of tunnels. Another extreme option is still being considered. The group stays put for 4 months until the monsoon season ends and water levels recede naturally. For now, they're all receiving food, water, and medical assistance. That is such a gripping story.
Yeah, it makes me so nervous because monsoon season is so unpredictable too. So for them to wait it out and they have monsoon conditions coming, it's a real concern. We're all, crossing our fingers, hope they can get them out there sooner than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
On a much more positive note, yesterday I was talking about the possible record temperatures and that we were maybe going to have one for St. John's once the official numbers came in. And sure enough, have a look, St. John's. This is for yesterday. Hey, a nice day out there as well today. But were you really baking in it yesterday or out at the barbecue last evening? You can be out there again tonight. St. John's, this is where it came in officially for us. We're looking at 28.6, the new record, and the old record was 28.3. So we didn't really, kill it, but we certainly broke that old record. And it wasn't just St. John's, St. Lawrence, for you guys too. You broke your old record by a degree there. So 26.6, again, this is for the 4th. So this is for yesterday. And records being kept there since 1909. By the way, St. John's, and you probably already know this, but for St. John's, we've got records going back all the way to 1874. I just love that. Now, something else I love, Burgeo, you guys, you did kill it. The old record was 20 degrees. The new record, 24 degrees. That is somewhat unusual to break a record by 4 degrees there. It's probably you're feeling like maybe it's unusual for that record to be where it's at. Today, a similar day could be another record, temperature right around 21 degrees. But I want to point out that this record was from 1939, and they were keeping records since 1939. So just think about that, kids at home. I love climatology as much as meteorology, is that someone was probably writing in a ledger back there in 1939, and all these years that record is held. That is until yesterday. Debbie?
Thank you, Colette. Well, a 64-year-old man died at a worksite in Bay Roberts yesterday afternoon. The RCMP says it is investigating the man's death, along with occupational health and safety and the medical examiner. It happened at the Bay Roberts Mall. The town's volunteer fire department said it responded to a call from Moore's ambulance for medical help at the mall just before 4 p.m. The department was asking people to be careful in the area as they dealt with an emergency on the roof.
The St. John's Fire Department have issued a warning about lithium-ion batteries. One of those batteries is believed to be responsible for this fire last week on Cashin Avenue in St. John's. The owners say flames came out of the battery and caused the house to catch fire. Lithium-ion batteries are used in laptops, smartphones, toys, and other devices. The fire department says in rare cases, the batteries can explode or burst into flames. It says to stop using the batteries if you notice a problem like a change in color or smell, or they're producing too much heat. The batteries should also be stored and disposed of properly.
Commercial fishermen in Torbay say they are fighting to keep the Small Crafts Wharf in Tappers Cove open to everyone, both professional and recreational fishers. But they fear that as the popularity of the facility grows, they'll be pushed out. Here now's Mark Quinn reports.
As the mural shows, fishermen have been using this facility for generations, and these commercial fish harvesters want that to continue. But they say they're not being territorial.
This facility was always for both parties. Our fight is here to keep this facility open to the public, and that always will be our fight. We want to keep this a public place, but recreation tried to force us out. We don't want to be forced out.
They say this harbour gets extremely busy during the recreational food fishery.
It's just total chaos down here. And you've got men down here trying to make a living on a commercial site.
They fear the Harbour Authority will ultimately bar them from the facility to reduce traffic here. And the evidence that that might happen? They say there was an effort to close the harbour early last fall, even though commercial fishing continues into December.
We all went to other places when the cod moratorium was on as fish harvesters to try to make a living. There was nothing here for us. So these people just moved in and took over. Now we have a stewardship fishery back. This is why we're back on site again. This is our community wharf. This is where we always fished. Now we have a fishery back. We're back here at the cod again.
CBC tried to reach the Harbour Authority for comment, but it didn't return our calls. Professional fishermen hope their concerns will be heard at the Harbour Authority's annual meeting later this month. Mark Quinn, CBC News, Torbay.
Well, the federal government is announcing funding for improvements to small boat basins around the province. The $40 million they're putting forward includes work on the Prosser's Rock Small Boat Basin in Fort Amherst. The province's MP in the federal cabinet, Seamus O'Regan, made the announcement today. The money will include investments in major multi-year harbor development projects in St. John's. Fort Amherst Small Boat Basin is in the main commercial fish landing site for vessels less than 65 feet. The improvements are scheduled to be completed by March 2020.
It was all pomp and circumstance today at 5 Wing Goose Bay. Base Commander Colonel Andrew Wedgwood left his post after a 2-year stint. Among other things, he oversaw the base while it assisted with the Mud Lake evacuations. He also penned a deal to share the base's water source with the entire town of Happy Valley Goose Bay. Wedgwood handed the reins over to Lieutenant Colonel Stéphane Racle in a ceremony at a hangar on base. Jacob Barker spoke with both the outgoing and the incoming commander.
What do you think you'll miss most?
It's always the people.
You know, both my wife and I grow attached to people and places very easily, and we've gotten to know so many people here on the base, but also in the community, and we've made lifelong friendships that certainly we're going to miss for now, but certainly ones that will rekindle in the future at some point.
You gonna be back?
Guaranteed. I have an affinity for the side-by-sides. You know, it's part of embracing Labrador, so I thought it was a really great way to exit the parade.
I'm very thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to be in command of 5 Wing, and it's a great day. I've heard lots of good things about it. It is a bit of an isolated community, but that also means that it's a tight-knit family. Community relations are very important, and I intend to continue the good work that's been done in that front. Undoubtedly, there's going to be a fair bit to learn. I've already started to learn some of this, but I have a great team that's going to help me through that. I was posted previously to Cold Lake for 4.5 years in Alberta, so I do know what it's like a little bit to live in an isolated or semi-isolated area. You know, there's a lot of positives here. You know, tight-knit community again. You know, the families, the direct links with the different communities. Got a lot to learn, no doubt about it. But no, I've heard only good things, and in my 1 week and a couple of days that I've been here, it's all been good. So.
Go ahead, you can putt first.
He was the RNC's top dog, and former Chief Bob Johnston's retirement seemed to be hitting all the right notes.
Hey!
Until he was diagnosed with the same deadly brain tumor that killed the legendary Gord Downey.
It's like being hit by a freight train.
But Johnston, along with his wife Gloria, is determined to buck the odds.
If one person can survive or one person can live longer, doesn't mean that you can't either.
Welcome back. Sometimes life throws you a curveball and out of the blue your world is turned upside down. That's what happened to retired RNC Chief Bob Johnston last fall. He was diagnosed with an invasive brain tumor with one of the poorest survival rates of any cancer, glioblastoma. It is the same kind of tumor that killed Gord Downey of the Tragically Hip.
Sundown in the Paris of the prairie.
Most people had never heard of glioblastoma until Gord Downey went public. The country celebrated and mourned at the same time. Most people live about 18 months after their diagnosis, although in rare cases some can live for years. Gord Downey died 15 months after he disclosed his cancer. Some pretty high-profile cases, Bob. This one, the O'Brien children that went missing.
Yeah, that was very tragic.
Bob Johnston had a long and successful police career.
This is his class.
He and his wife, Gloria, a career educator, started organizing all those memories after they retired a few years ago.
Johnson named top cop.
That was a special day.
April 2010, he was the top cop.
Over 35 years, his career put him to the test. High-profile murder cases, diffusing pressure situations, and protecting well-known politicians. At times, putting himself in harm's way. It was a job he relished. But now Bob Johnston is being put to the test in a way he never imagined.
The exact diagnosis is that I have a glioblastoma, which is stage 4 cancer. And it's inoperable.
What was it like to hear that diagnosis?
Debbie, it's like being hit by a freight train. I've never been sick in my life, really. My life has always surrounded, physical fitness. I looked after myself in terms of what I ate, didn't smoke, a very limited social drinker. So I looked after myself and never really thought about mortality. So we're playing for 50,000 or 20,000?
Well, I would say how about 25 cents?
25 cents, okay.
You go
perfect.
for it.
There's an ease between these two. Bob and Wayne Pye have been friends for more than 45 years, the best man at each other's wedding.
Oh. Okay, well done. Let's go up at number 1 there, right?
Last September, Bob and Wayne were playing a round of golf with their buddies. There was no inkling of what was about to happen.
Well, we hit our balls, and of course, we always walk and talk together, and we come up, and Robert really didn't know where his ball was. It was like, I guess he just couldn't gather his thoughts, and he was searching. So anyway, we found our balls, and he looked at me and he said, "I'm not well." And I said, "Well, what do you want to do?" And he said, "I think we have to go to the doctor or to the hospital."
The thing that I think about the most right here is when I realized that I was off, and I said, "Wayne, take me to the hospital." I looked over at Ken Byrne, who's a retired principal at St. Peter's. He's one of our golfing partners. And I looked over at him, and I saw the sheer panic and terror in his face, and I realized then how bad it was. And so that was the start of it. And then we went to the hospital, and within an hour, the doctor was telling me that, I had a brain tumor.
I didn't even have to wait for her to say anything. I could see it in her eyes.
Bob, Gloria, and their daughters were together when the doctor delivered the devastating news. Perhaps 8 to 10 good months.
"We've got this, Dad. We've got this. We're with you, Dad. We've got this." And right away, we became wrapped in this blanket of support and love that came around us and just kind of pushed and led us along the way. But in that beginning day, it was like time stood still, and just being able to breathe was a challenge.
So right from the get-go, you were going to fight this?
Absolutely. After we were able to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and said, okay, what have we got to do to fight? What have we got to do to give ourselves the best opportunity to live? And so that's what we did. And so my position was from the get-go, I mean, the doctors were honest with us in terms of what the statistical data was in terms of survival with the glioblastoma. And it's not good. But what I did, and Gloria as well, was that, okay, are there survivors out there? Who are they? And that's the ones that I focused on. And there's a 3% success rate in terms of, you know, the treatment actually having an impact on the glioblastoma.
3%.
3%. Mm-hmm.
You must think about that percentage, though, all the time. Do you, Gloria? Do you, Bob?
Actually, from the very first, his spirit is amazing, and he would look at me and he used to say, somebody has to be in that 3%. That can be me.
Did that surprise you about your husband?
Not at all. Not at all. His spirit and his, I guess, positive attitude towards life and everything and everybody in life gave me strength on days when I was very scared.
Days when Bob was weak and thin from treatment, too tired sometimes to get out of bed, chemotherapy and 30 rounds of radiation. But after number 30, a celebratory ringing of the bell at the cancer center. Bob and Gloria consulted doctors in Toronto and opted for treatment at home. And that treatment has seen some results.
Oh yeah, there's two there. Okay, perfect.
He's able to drive again and play golf.
Wow, that's a nice shot, Robert. That'll work real well.
Just recently, because of my latest MRI report, the swelling has gone totally off my brain. The tumor has regressed significantly. Why I'm where I'm at, I don't think anybody can really explain that.
Good pensions, a Florida vacation home. People must have looked at you and thought, you had everything, world by the tail. Didn't get you down with this curveball that you were thrown?
No, because, you know, Debbie, my belief is that we're not going to look too far ahead because we don't know what that looks like. We said we're no longer going to look behind us because that's all changed. But we can live in the moment.
I'm wondering why you've made the decision to speak with me, to speak so publicly about this personal journey that you're on.
I think I just want to have a shout out for the extraordinary medical doctors and specialists that are working in this province that are making a difference and saving lives. From the ER doctor to the neurosurgeon to the oncology team, they were exceptional. I want to give people hope because there's, you know, I hear daily or often now of people that are diagnosed with a similar diagnosis or, you know, or some catastrophic disease. And if we can give somebody hope and believe that never give up, because, you know, you can, you know, we're all different, you know, we're all individuals. And there's no reason if, like I said, if one person can survive or one person can live longer, doesn't mean that you can't either.
And that's what it comes down to for Bob and Gloria. Hope for others, hope for themselves, living every day, exercising and eating well.
We make it every day. Some days I drink it, some days I don't. Robert drinks it every day and has learned to like it, I think, and it's a big part of his diet. And if I don't have it, he insists on having it, so it's a daily routine that we do.
Well, I mean, I haven't since I've been diagnosed. I haven't had the flu, so you know, obviously it's enhancing my immune system. When we have a toast, we call it the positive outcomes.
Positive outcomes.
So what's the plan now?
To live, I guess that's our plan. Our plan is to live, and to keep our hope stronger than our fear.
I realize how blessed I am to be where I am and be married to this lovely lady here. She's my soulmate.
He didn't complain about anything. He was just always so thankful, and so many times would say to me, we're so blessed. And out of all of this, he still looks at me and says, we're so blessed. So I guess we are blessed.
And we are.
Yeah. Blessed.
Wayne Pye still marvels at his friend's positivity.
That'll work.
That'll work. That's
You're good there.
Wayne, does that sound like the Bob Johnston who's your friend?
He was always very determined and very positive, and I guess when we look back and I guess hindsight, I could see him taking that stance and took a great inner strength to do that. I don't know, I guess if I could do it, but that'll work.
You know, I'm going to enjoy every moment, and I'm going to squeeze as much life out of this as I can, and I'm determined that you know, if someone else could be a survivor for 20 years, I'm going for 21.
He's a little competitive.
Yeah. Anyway, we made it back, buddy.
Yeah, let's go.
That determination and positivity, that's got to go a long way.
Yeah, obviously that's the way he operates, has been over his career, and now in this life challenge of his. They have a huge network of support, and Bob and Gloria said they still have date nights. They're so much in love, as you can see. They're up in Toronto now watching Shania Twain.
So. Oh, it's nice, having fun at least. Well, it's a beautiful evening for a ball game, or for walking the dog, or having a barbecue, or pretty much doing whatever you like, as long as it's outdoors. Colette will tell you whether you should grab a jacket. Up next.
It is brought to you by Take Charge Business Efficiency Program. Over 570 businesses have saved energy and taken charge of their bottom line. Find out how you can too.
Welcome back to Here and Now, and what a lovely day for a swim outdoors. And actually, the Bowring Park Pool is celebrating a milestone this summer. It's been around for 50 years.
And to mark it, the city's holding an event next Wednesday at 11:30 at the pool.
But we wondered, what did it look like those 50 years ago? So we dug into the CBC archives.
This pool, of course, being so large, it may very well, and I think it is the anticipation of the committee that it will be able to accommodate all the children who want to swim at any one time.
And that's former St. John's Mayor William Adams opening the pool on August 5th, 1968. Adams cut the ribbon and the kids ran into the water to go swimming.
Must have been so special for them. While this is an official pool, people have actually been swimming at Bowring Park since the 1920s in a natural pool that had been built into Southbrook.
I love those images. I love the archive, images looking back there. I have this photo of my mom when she was, it would have been in the 1950s, and she's in one of those style of bathing suits, and it's black and white, and she's by the, local swimming hole, public pool there, and it's just something that's so special to me. Her eyes are closed, which is my mom to this day. Take a picture, the eyes closed on her. Anyway, something else that's so special are the temperatures we're seeing out there and the lovely weather conditions we're having. Have a look at some of these are what we're seeing for current temperatures right now. So 25 in Badger, 22 in Gander, Bonavista. You guys, hey, it's a nice day there too. I don't know for a swim, but hey, 19 degrees is pretty good. A little bit cooler though if you're heading further north. So we are seeing those temperatures for you guys in Nain there at 19 degrees. Now we've had the winds be a little bit breezy, a little gusty from the south, but those are the gusts. The sustained winds are really not that significant. Sustained winds around 20-25 kilometers an hour for St. John's. Again, some of those gusts though have been more around 40 or so, and these are the current sustained winds we're seeing. But the real setup that I want to tell you about is what's going to be changing and the whole weather pattern kind of changing, and that includes what's going on back to the west of us with all that heat that goes from Ontario and into the Maritimes through Quebec, as we know about, as we've been talking about these last few days. The system that's going to knock that out is also going to impact us. So still just starting to see some of those spotty showers and stuff along this particular system. So the area of low pressure back here, counterclockwise circulation. We've been enjoying the sunshine and high pressure, that's clockwise circulation, but we're going to lose that more stable air mass and this very unstable air mass coming in here. And it's that contrast between the two that's really sparking quite a line of thunderstorms and a lot of severe weather back into Ontario headed towards Quebec as well. Here we can rest a little bit easier, but I do want to take it through and show you how the clouds are going to roll in, but also we'll see those rain showers moving in through the overnight. We'll see them taking over through Labrador, but for western Newfoundland, but also southwestern over towards Port aux Basques through Corner Brook, we'll have some of these showers. Then becoming heavier along the eastern coast of Labrador, also for the northern peninsula, and this is taking you again into the timeline. We're heading through the day on Friday. For the Avalon, Bonavista, even for the Burin, it's really going to be kind of spotty. A lot of cloud cover, morning fog, patchy fog, but beyond that, there will be some showers probably to bookend the day at the beginning and then at the end. But other than that, I think you'll still be able to carve out a pretty nice day into Friday. The contrast is going to be for so many throughout our region is that we're going to see that from Friday to Saturday, it'll be a deep change in terms of temperatures with that colder air moving in into Saturday. So for overnight tonight, Labrador West, you're looking at the rain showers 16. Also some embedded thunderstorms. Be aware of that, and those are moving eastward. 16 the overnight low for western parts of the island. It's 16. Central areas, you're looking at 12 overnight tonight. And for St. John's, it's down to 10. And then a look at tomorrow afternoon, 21. Again, a lot of clouds, and I would have the umbrella around, and we will find those winds picking up, so you'll need to hold on to it. Those winds picking up from the south to southwest. They're going to become gustier tomorrow afternoon, 40 to 60 kilometers an hour. Central areas, your high going up to 24 for Newfoundland towards the west, 23, 22 for Labrador East, and look at that colder air that's starting to come in. That's why the high tomorrow to the west, only 10 degrees.
I'm here in CBC's radio booth with Chris Andrews. You may recognize him from the band Shani Ganak. Well, Chris is taking on a new role with CBC Radio this summer. You have a brand new show. Tell us about it.
Well, it's going to be a little different. I think a lot of people are expecting a Newfoundland traditional music show, but I'm going to be hosting weekend AMs on Sunday mornings, 6:05 in Newfoundland, 5:35 in most of Labrador, as I've been saying a lot. But we're going to be featuring a lot of East Coast music, singer-songwriter, more folk music, but also some music, international music, and you know, just different types of music from all over.
So a big variety of stuff.
It is indeed, but it's all sort of on the gentler side because it is a Sunday morning.
Yes, you don't want to have anything too ruckusy and early in the morning.
Exactly, no death metal before 7. But no, it's a nice selection of music, and Lucas Wall is producing it with me, and he's a younger guy, so he's introducing a lot of the music into it. So I'm getting to learn about these bands, and I'm becoming fans of these bands. It's some really good music, and it's been a great experience.
And you certainly have a lot of knowledge with your background with Shani Ganak. You've been playing music for a really long time.
Long time. A really long time, and probably for a few more years yet. But it's nice to do something different, and you know, it changes as good as the rest sometimes, and I enjoy doing this, and it's been a great pleasure so far.
All right, well, thank you so much for telling us about it.
Thanks for coming in and visiting.
Recycling the unrecyclable, and when the time comes, recycling yourself?
Those green stories are next on Here and Now. Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, next we have two stories about how our individual decisions have long-term effects on the planet. The first is about a couple looking to leave the Earth the way they found it. As Diane Buckner explains, they're interested in going out green.
John and Kathy Anstruther are just 60 years old, but they're already planning what will happen when they die.
We're already looking at a green burial, which is, I guess, something new in this area.
A green burial is eco-friendly, and Crystal Riddell knows all about it. She has a new business where customers hire her to arrange alternative types of funerals.
This is one option, is the Eden poplar casket. It's plywood, it has wooden dowels and unbleached cotton interior as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Traditional burials involve toxic embalming fluid and an expensive casket that isn't biodegradable. The Anstruthers want to avoid all that and be laid to rest in the new green cemetery in town, in a plain pine box or even just a shroud. No headstone either.
Kentucky coffee tree on there, nice tree. We'd be quite happy to be the fertilizer for the tree. And you know, people look, oh my God, you can't think about that, but that's really what ultimately we're dust to dust, you know, ashes to ashes,
So
and we're going to be
back.
Canadian rituals around death are changing. Along with growing interest in eco-friendly burial, cremation is more and more common. Overall, 60% of Canadians now make that choice, and the number is climbing, forecast to be 80% by 2035. But cremation takes a lot of energy, as much as what it takes to heat a typical home for a week.
When this is in full bloom, this is about just under 2 feet tall, and it's all wildflowers and grasses.
The manager of cemetery services for the city of Niagara Falls, who pushed the city to open its new green cemetery, says the baby boom generation is driving the trend.
They've spent the better part of their life trying to do the best that they can to help the environment. And the question that they're always asking, or the comment that they're always making, is why would we make that effort our entire life just to harm the environment at the end of it?
So the seeds are coming out. So.
Experts say more baby boomers like John and Kathy Anstruther are likely to make an eco-friendly decision about their final chapter. Diane Buckner, CBC News, Niagara Falls.
Now, if you're feeling guilty about all those coffee pods or squeeze pouches you're tossing in the trash, we have some good news and some bad. Private recycling firms are stepping in to recycle some of those mixed plastic products. The problem is the cost outweighs what the finished product is worth. Christine Birak explains the new reality of recycling the unrecyclable.
Want to try that one again?
It's quick and so easy to hold. Isla can pretty much feed herself. But squeeze pouches aren't all good news. Even if she liked mango chicken, those pouches are creating tons of garbage. To ease her guilt, Isla's mom collects and ships them to a special recycling program.
You can recycle both the pack and the lid through TerraCycle.
So you send it just like this?
Yep. Just put them in a box and send them, and because they're mixed material, they can't go in the blue bin.
Cities are not collecting a growing list of mixed plastic products, ranging from cereal bags and shiny food wrappers to cigarette butts. They're simply too expensive to recycle. Businesses like TerraCycle act as a go-between, approaching companies making hard-to-recycle products and asking them to pay the cost. In return, consumers can send the company's products off to a private recycling plant for free, and they feel good about it.
We also have a free program for these Schneider's Lunchmate lunch kits.
But it's a tricky business. The more products Canadians send back for specialized recycling, the higher the cost to the company. Some product makers then pull the plug on the program, saying it's just too expensive.
From our perspective, we would like everything to be recycled. You know, we'd like to collect as much as we can, but the reality of it is that there's a cost to it.
Some argue programs like TerraCycle leave people thinking everything is recyclable, when in reality, it's not cost-effective for cities or companies to actually do it.
So packaging producers are trying to have their cake and eat it too, meaning they're generating materials that are saving them on logistics, transportation, storage, and then they're communicating to households that this material is recyclable, when in reality, if we look at their recycling rates, it's less than 5%.
Experts say what we really need to do is reduce the amount of stuff we're picking up or buying and reuse what we have, which is why this teacher decided not to recycle.
I feel like I was encouraging them to buy more of these. So instead, we've been campaigning for apples versus the little apple sauce pockets.
Sounds simple enough, but wasteful habits are hard to break. Some provinces are now putting it back on product makers, making them responsible for the public cost of disposal or recycling of their own products, hoping the bottom line will force better decision-making on what they offer people and our planet. Christine Birak, CBC News, Toronto.
Still a lovely evening in St. John's. This is the view of the Narrows from the rooms. We'll be right back. Let's meet our young athletes of the day. Autumn Kennedy is our first young athlete of the day. Autumn plays basketball with the St. John's Bosco Eagles.
In her first year of playing, she earned Player of the Game, her first game, and received the Hardest Worker Award from her coaches.
And she has such an awesome name, a season, and it's Kennedy. Congratulations, Autumn.
No relation, right?
Nope.
And our second athlete today, 11-year-old Jaden Genge, is from Bearco.
He plays hockey with the Straits Rifters at left defense.
Congratulations, Jaden. Looking good there on being one of our athletes of the day.
Just before we get to the weather with Colette. Colette, 3 weeks you've been here.
Almost 3 weeks.
Yeah, and this is your last evening.
I'm in love. Love it here.
Yeah.
Don't want to
Well,
go.
hopefully you had enough fun that you'll want to come back, right?
Yes, I feel it. I feel it's in my blood now.
There were a lot of things that you did. Just have a look, a reminder.
Hi, Frank. Hi. Oh, you want to say hi too? Look. How do you feel about the first day of summer? Thank for dogs and babies.
Bowering Park.
That's Bowering Park. This is at the Perchance Theater. I mean,
Cupid.
come on. I get to play Juliet.
Yeah, real live Shakespeare.
Yeah, that was fabulous. And I have to come back because I need to get out there to see one of the productions, right? I keep saying I've got a crush on St. John's. I've got a crush on Newfoundland and Labrador.
You might have a crush on me, honey.
Oh.
You never know.
Check.
I'm so glad you got to see the whales in person like that. No icebergs in person, but
I actually did. Yes,
Did
when
you?
I my first weekend drove to Bonavista and I got to see 2 icebergs. So I mean, I'm looking at that so blown away how much there is to do here that I have, and I've only scratched the surface, right?
You did pack a lot in those,
Yes,
Grace.
certainly did. I guess I should do my last weather then, and let's go ahead and take a look outside. Thank you guys, that was really lovely. This is a look at the current temperatures that we're seeing, and for St. John's I've been saying 20 degrees, 22 in Gander. What I want you to have a look at though is that extreme heat back towards the Maritimes, yes, but into Quebec, into Ontario. Finally, that heat breaking. The nation's capital right now, 33 degrees, but it feels 10 degrees warmer than that. And that heat obviously been moving eastward. We're at least having some warmth. Certainly central Newfoundland has been on the warmer side as well. Now, a look at what's going on here with this system. This is really important. This Bermuda high has been stuck there, and that's what's been holding that heat in. Well, now a system strong enough to push it through, but what this means is we've got cold, dry air coming in up against what is very, very hot. We know that, but buoyant air too with all that humidity. So severe thunderstorms rolling through Ontario into southern Quebec, and we're seeing just the front end of this system. So seeing maybe a few spotty thunderstorms, certainly into Labrador, but also dealing with some of the showers and the cloud cover moving through overnight tonight into tomorrow. So we take you through the timeline, and as we go towards tomorrow evening, still looking at that risk. It's going to be kind of for the Avalon, a sort of stop and go kind of thing. There'll be some patchy fog in the morning. The winds are going to be quite gusty from the south to southwest, and we will see some wet conditions, maybe to kind of bookend, as I was saying earlier, the beginning of the day and then towards the end of the day, and then keeping a chance. But after that, as we head into the second part of the weekend, I do want to just mention, though, Friday night into Saturday, a risk of snow for parts of central Labrador and northern Labrador, even towards the west. Just a chance, because it's going to be such a change in temperatures with the air mass that will be changing out. So as we head into Sunday, second half of the weekend, we do have high pressure building in, and as that happens, we're going to see things clearing out and looking a little bit better, but a cooler day, especially Saturday, not so much Sunday. In terms of rainfall amounts, having a look, some of the heaviest stuff will be back here towards the southwest from Corner Brook, but more so south towards Port aux Basques. For western Labrador, 15 degrees, dropping then to 12 for you into Saturday. So getting into that contrast in terms of the temperatures with some of those wet conditions. Have a look though, for eastern Labrador, it's going to be a 10-degree difference. Happy Valley, Goose Bay, 10-degree drop between Friday and Saturday, what you'll experience. Western Newfoundland, 25, dropping down almost 10 degrees to 16, then looking pretty good, especially as you get a little further into that weekend. For central Newfoundland, 26 degrees with the wet conditions, and then into Saturday, high of of only 18, but we rebounded to Sunday for you and for St. John's 22. Then it will be 20 on Saturday, still a chance of showers, sunny, and 19, a very pleasant day on Sunday. And I will have my picture of the day when I return.
Okay, the last picture of the day from Colette for a while.
Yes.
And it's a beauty, as usual.
It's gorgeous. It's from record-breaking heat day yesterday. And this is just the sunset from, yesterday. Can you guess where that is? There it is, the beach at Manuel's. Did I say it correctly?
Manuel's.
I had to mess up one more time since I've been here. After we had, what did I have coming from Argentina instead of Argentina? Sorry, guys.
That's a common one.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Yeah, but beautiful. Thank you, Ian Gillies. Thank you for that one. That one is just so gorgeous.
And of course, please keep those pictures coming. Send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Well,
and we can see, what are we seeing here? Bell Island, or is it Kelly?
Kelly's
what
Island off
there?
Bell Island. Yeah,
Oh, okay, nice.
Anyway, it's been a real pleasure. Lots of times when you've filled in, it's been from up along. It was so lovely to have you here.
I like coming from away. I want to stay from away.
Well, you'll have to come back.
That's our show. Good night, everybody.
Bye.